What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 45 of Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down the latest news and trends, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's jump into this week's episode of Hit the Books. On this week's episode, I'm back after a 2-week hiatus, but the boys held down the fort for our 90th and 91st episodes of all time. We're quickly approaching 100 episodes, and I'm really excited about that one. But in the sports world, we are ready to talk some MLB All Star weekend, some big moves as the NHL Free Agency opens up, and some NBA, and we are just under 10 weeks away from our first NFL Sunday, and we cannot forget our weekly MLB Power Rankings. But I'm ready to jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Mackie, let's start it off with you this week. What do you got for us?
Yeah, just another week. We're back. Jesse, missed you the last 2 weeks. It's crazy. We're approaching 100 episodes. Seems like we just started this shit yesterday. But yeah, just a lot of free agency stuff going on this week. A lot of big moves in the NBA, NHL, and we still got a lot to look forward to in both those free agencies. So let's get kind of rolling into that this week.
Good stuff. Let's shoot it over to you, Ace. Take it away for us, buddy. What do you got? Another week here on the show.
Yeah, like Mackie said, pretty crazy that we're getting up to triple digits for episodes. Obviously, I joined halfway through, but just a nice milestone to hit, a nice form of legitimacy in my eyes. But the MLB's been rolling and been seeing some good baseball lately. Obviously, slacked on the card yesterday, but we were hitting a nice little streak for a bit, and my goal is to be at positive units by the All Star break, so we'll keep you guys updated on that as well. But ready to talk another week of sports here.
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Huff, let's finish it off with you this week. What do you got for us here? Episode 45.
Yeah, not much else going on. 4th of July yesterday, so nice to get some time off of work there with the holiday. Had a good holiday myself. I don't know about you boys, but did watch some baseball yesterday. Not too much, but saw the got to be better on the card plays. Like we said, Ace, I like that goal to get back up to above positive by the All-Star break. That's what next. We have a week. We're really cutting down the time to that. We have about 10 days here. I think the home run derby's next Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, I think.
Monday night. I believe it's Monday night, but we'll be getting to that.
Yeah, I think the game's Tuesday and the derby is Monday. So, yeah, we got some work to do in the next couple of days.
Absolutely, yeah. You said it, Huff. July 4th. It was just this past Tuesday. Why don't we do a top 3 segment here of top 3 cookout foods? I guess, in any retrospect, in the tailgate, at the 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, whatever you guys are thinking. All right, I'll start us off. My number 3 is watermelon. I think watermelon is a very superior food, easy to eat, and it's just one of those things you got to have at a cookout. Number 2, baked beans, but they have to have bacon in them. I'm a big bacon guy. I think baked beans with bacon really make the world go round. Bacon Burt, one of the pierogies for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Definitely one of my favorite. Huff bought me a t-shirt of him. Very excited to get that. And number 1, I'm going with strawberry pretzel salad. I only ate about 3 or 4 plates of it on 4th of July. Huff can attest. Easily my favorite thing to eat by far in the world, I think.
What was the last one?
Strawberry pretzel salad. So it's like strawberry jello with like cream and junk and then pretzels and whatever else on the bottom.
Never heard of that.
Oh, so it's a dessert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I was thinking at first, I was like, salad. I'm like, that doesn't sound very good. And I'm like, all right, the dessert form, that sounds pretty elite.
That actually just got edged out of mine. It easily could be in there. That's probably my favorite dessert as well. I just didn't throw it in there because it's definitely a controversial pick. I can't imagine Mackie. I don't know if you're going to be a big strawberry pretzel salad guy if you saw it.
Well, you know how I am. I'm a bit of a picky eater, so. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Hey, at least you're honest about it.
Now I'm eager to hear Mackie's list because it could just be
like,
classic.
I know.
I was gonna go last.
I can rip my 3 here.
Go
ahead, Mackie.
Yeah, you guys, you know how this is gonna be, plain and simple. Number 3, I'm just gonna go burgers. Pretty American of me, but just a nice burger on a cookout. They're always there, so you can always rely on it, and it's never really bad. So that's what I'll go with for number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go watermelon like Jesse. I think that was a really good pick. You got to have your fruit in there, and it's always there. So great pick for number 2. And number 1, just grilled chicken. Great grilled chicken. You get your protein in, and it's on the grill. So if you're at a cookout, you're always gonna have grilled chicken, and it's always reliable. I mean,
You going barbecue chicken, Mackie?
No,
Just chicken.
not barbecue. Yeah, just grilled chicken. You know how it comes out. Just like it's got the grill marks on it and everything.
Just
got that
chicken
shaw.
on the grill.
It's always gonna be good.
Just chicken.
He's just dying.
Listen, I told you guys that this.
What did you say? It's got
you
the
guys,
grill marks.
Yeah, it's got
That char, baby.
That wasn't a dumb thing to say. Come on. Honorable mention to just pasta with butter. Pasta with butter is always on the side as well. So, yeah, I get it. I'm pretty plain. I'm bland, but you know what? I like it how I like it.
Mackie, I don't think I've ever been to a cookout that gives out pasta with butter.
What?
I've had
I'm still laughing at
I
the
have
chicken
pasta
thing.
salad. That would be my honorable mention there. Like
I don't really
at a
like pasta
cookout,
salad.
Like my family's Italian, and we're still about just
Yeah, you
putting
just
out
got-
pasta
you
with
gotta-
butter.
You got a big bowl of pasta with butter. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's like what my brother used to eat, 'cause he sounds like the same as you. I don't think he even eats vegetables, but that's a crazy list right there.
No.
I actually do have I have a similarity with you, because I kind of looked at it the same way as like your classic 4th of July cookout. So I was like, all right, how American can you get with these meals? So honorable mention, I'll go with the pasta salad. I feel like that's a good one right there. I mean, you have it everywhere. Macaroni salad, however you want to call it, and everybody's different variations. So you show up to a party, you have like 4 different kinds of it, and it's like, all right, you're having the same thing, but it's still pretty good every time. So that's gonna be my honorable mention, but not too specific. 3, I'll go with the corn on the cob. I mean, dude, you get that grilled, Mac. You get some grill marks on your corn on the cob. That's not too bad, but that's pretty American because that's gonna be on the side plate of your cheeseburger, which is gonna be 2 for me. Very American, I think. 4th of July, literally every cookout, you're going for the burger. But number 1, it's got to be the glizzy. I mean, hot dog eating contest on that. Like, shout out to that. I mean, shout out to America eating a glizzy at the ballpark. Imagine, like, wherever you are, a cookout, wherever there's a grill involved, you got to have the glizzy, I'd say. I mean, it's classic. Definitely want a lot of grill marks on those as well.
Corn got the oust for me, but I like the glizzy.
I knew Ace was going to be the sus one to say glizzy. You know what? You're under investigation now.
You got to have the glizzy. Dude, the glizzies and the burgers, that's like, what else is there going to be at a cookout?
Serious question, Ace. Do you bring dirty dog water on the course?
No.
Liar.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He's got a furnace of them. He's got like 6 of them in there.
Yeah.
He's got a crock pot.
imagine.
He fills up
No,
the
That's
cooler.
not a bad, like, halfway through though. In between the 9th and the 10th hole, you stop at the clubhouse. There's this place. You get a bucket of beers and 2 glizzies for like $10. I mean, that's
But
kind
if
of a deal.
Ace, let me ask you this: if you're standing there, you're at the concession stand, you just played 9 holes, you go in, you're like, I want a hot dog so bad, but you go in, you see they're pulling them out of water, boiling water in a pot. Are you still
I'm all
ordering a
set.
hot dog,
No,
or are you
I'm all
skipping
set.
it?
I'm all
No,
set.
you're lying. You're sucking that thing down.
No, definitely not ideal. I mean, that's what you get at, like, what this concession stands at a game too, essentially. The ballpark.
The ones on the
Franks.
rollers are fine.
Go sit on the
I was
rollers.
gonna say the rollers are
Yeah,
fine.
those are better, I'd say.
Oh, they're
Listen,
fine. I mean, 7-Eleven.
You know what's in a hot dog? No,
No,
you
I
don't.
see,
Because
Mac,
nobody
Nothing
Chicken
good.
nuggets,
No,
chicken
you don't
nuggets,
know
hot
what's in it.
dogs, whatever. I don't look at it. I just eat it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. I'm an American, and I feel bad about it afterwards, but like, it's pretty good in the moment.
Feel bad about it afterwards.
Yeah, when you're like,
The
oh,
amount-
when you're talking about the slop you inhaled, but like in the moment, like, come on, you've had a few Miller Lights. You're like, all right, I'll take a glizzy, a dog, and some corn on the cob, maybe some mac and cheese on the side too, pasta salad.
Mackie has the strongest take on hot dogs out of anyone I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, you can't. First of all, you can't get caught sucking one down. You'll never live that one down.
No, you don't get caught
and
on
yeah,
camera.
I
You
just don't-
rip it.
I don't like the fact that you have no idea what's in a hot dog. It's literally leftovers of like it could be pig eyes, dude. You have no idea what's in that thing.
Well, if you get the all beef one, you at least know it's coming from a cow. That's the best answer I can give you.
Yeah, but it's like you don't know.
It could be
what
anything.
part.
You're right. It could be anything.
It's sus. It's definitely definitely something that I stay away from.
Mackie, you ever play like All Star baseball when you were little? After the game, I remember every game they give
Oh,
you like a hot dog and a soda every game.
Oh, I definitely used to suck them down. I'm not gonna lie about that. But when I was a
Mackey's
kid,
saying he's sucking them down. I just get a hot dog, get a glizzy, rip it.
well, because that's
I'm
what
not
you're
sucking
doing,
'em
bro.
down.
It's a glizzy. There's no other way to talk about it.
All right, let me get my top three.
Yeah, hit it off.
Strawberry salad.
If you had hot dog on your list, you definitely don't anymore.
It is on my list.
Honorable
mention. My honorable mention is going to be pasta salad. I'm going with the pasta salad as the honorable mention. Number 3, I do also have watermelon. Number 2 is where I have hot dogs sitting at. It's a 4th of July staple. Like I said, the hot dog eating competition. Not saying that's why it's on there, but everyone eats a hot dog on 4th of July except Mackie. And number 1, I'm going to go, I don't know if it's a common one, but every cookout I go to always has ribs, and I'm a big barbecue guy. So ribs, number 1, huge rib guy. That's my number 1.
Huff's living large if he's going to every cookout with ribs.
I don't know, I just feel like it's a common thing.
They're elite. They're elite.
Ribs is a nice sleeper pick.
Yeah, I think ribs are a good choice.
It's just not as common to be there. You can go to a cookout and you don't see ribs.
Yeah, it's not like a burger or a hot dog. Yeah,
I put it on the same level as like a brisket.
Yeah.
Like people might have a brisket.
I think you're seeing ribs before you see brisket.
Oh, I agree. But I think they're both that style. Like you might see one.
See, I like the take that Jesse had versus the take Huff and I had, like the all-American picks, I'd say. Like that's what you got to go with. And, like that's why I had to have hamburger and hot dogs. They're like 1 and 2. Like some people are polar opposites. Mackey's, that's the strangest list I've ever heard. But I like how Jesse had the homegrown talent in there. The strawberry salad, that's pretty cool. If I would have done something like that, I would have done like party pizza. It's like cold pizza, something Rhode Island.
Yeah, Huff, is that a Pittsburgh thing? The strawberry pretzel salad?
I don't. It might be.
It might be. Like I've
definitely never heard of it.
Google it, Mackie and Ace. Google it and see if you've ever seen what that looks like.
Maybe I've heard it called something else.
What's it called again? Pretzel salad.
Strawberry pretzel salad dessert. Google that.
No. Looks pretty good though.
It's fire.
It's interesting.
It's
what?
Fire, man.
That's a weird mix.
I ate so much of it yesterday.
It's like sweet and salty, Ace.
Yeah, no, but
it's
what
fire.
is it? It's just like pretzel on the bottom.
It's like pretzel and graham cracker on the bottom,
all right,
cream,
graham cracker too.
and then strawberry jello, basically.
That might not even be that bad. I think I might enjoy that.
I think you would, Mackie. It's
All right,
very
Mackie's
simple.
coming around here.
Coming
little
around.
grill marks on the chicken. That's good.
Strawberries are good. Pretzels are good.
I know some grilled chicken with
Can't go wrong with a little cream.
The Prudential Center in Gibson.
Yeah. You know what? At least it's not as bad as blowing a 3-1 lead as the best team in NHL history. But yeah.
At least I have a cup to look back on in my lifetime.
Rangers. Come at my Rangers.
Yeah, because they have nothing to back up. I mean, at least you got Henrik Lundqvist to Stanley Cup.
He deserved one. Deserved one more than Tuukka Rask.
Yeah, but he got that picture instead of Alec Martinez throwing his gloves in the air.
He just lost to the Blues.
Yeah, but we beat the Vancouver Canucks in the scene, so.
Yeah, you beat the biggest chokers in NHL history.
All right, so at least they're not the biggest chokers. You were talking about us choking 3-1 lead. I'll take it.
Well, that's this season in particular. You're talking franchises.
Yeah. Talk to the ring, Mackie. Pick a sport.
Oh, yeah, Rhode Island has so many championships.
I mean, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan from New York.
Yeah, but I rep New York on everything else. Relax.
You
What
know
do you
how
rep,
much
the
other
Providence
New Yorkers,
Bruins?
you know how much every other New Yorker hates the Dallas Cowboys? You're wearing a Lakers hat right now.
It's about the style, bro.
I agree with that. All right, I'll take it there. That's fine.
I saw him fit in the hat before the show.
Gotta rep different ones every pod, though. I like it.
Yeah, I like to bring out different hats. You don't want to be wearing the same one every time.
Shout out to the new hat I got. Go get yours in stores today.
Yes, sir. Available on our website. They look great, Ace. Honestly, they look good. They pop.
Yeah, good hat to wear during golf. That's why I went with the white one.
We got all the colors, baby. Alrighty, let's jump into some MLB to get our episode started off here. First point I have here is on June 28th, Dominican professional baseball player, or baseball pitcher, Domingo Germain of the New York Yankees threw the 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history and 4th in Yankees franchise history. Germain pitched it during an 11-0 win against the Oakland Athletics at the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. So crazy impressive. 24 perfect games ever. I mean, we've probably only seen a handful in our lifetimes. Any comment on that?
I mean, it was so unexpected is the craziest thing to me. I mean, if you look at his previous few starts, I think he's giving up like 5, 6, 7 runs. And he comes out. I mean, if you're going to do it against a team, the Oakland Athletics of this season is probably the best bet to do it. But it's still a great feat. I mean, good for him. Obviously, he had a troubled past really off the field, but good accomplishment for him. And of course, it's a Yankees got to do it, though. I hate to see it.
Yeah, like you said, he wasn't having his best past couple starts. So to see him do this, like you said, the A's, they were on a little stretch. They had a nice month of June. I mean, I saw something where Frank the Tank said the A's were going to have a better record through June, not like entire record, but month to month. You know what I mean? In the month of June, the A's would have a better record than the Mets, and I think they were a game. They did have a game on them, and he was right about that. But I don't know. The A's, they've been bad, but they've also been kind of streaky. They were winning games, but to see them go, obviously, like he said, it's not very too surprising for me to see them be the team that gets this done to them.
Yeah, the Mets were the second worst team in June, behind only in front of the Royals. We don't have to get into that though.
No, we really don't.
I want to talk about that Mets team so bad though, but like it's so weird. I mean, I feel like they got screwed by being in this season. I mean, their older pitchers they brought in, Verlander and Scherzer, really got screwed by the pitch clock, in my opinion. The young talent hasn't really popped.
Scherzer's been adjusting to it. He's got an 8-2 record. I think it's like sub-3 ERA, so he's doing all right. Verlander needs to pick it up.
Tough start though. Like nobody's been in sync all year.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know. I think we'll figure things out. I mean, we're on a 3-game heater right now, so maybe we can get something rolling here.
Remember Edwin Diaz bringing all that flair to the team last year with the trumpets and all of his crazy saves? I feel like coming into this season with him getting injured and being out for the year, it kind of popped all the air in the balloon.
Yeah, definitely a terrible start to a pretty high expectation season. I guess I would say. This team's just underperforming. The bullpen's been terrible. A lot to do with Edwin Diaz as well. But I don't know. The pieces are all there. Just gotta put them together.
How far out are they?
6.5 out of a wild card.
Oh, so they're still alive with a strong second half. They have a good enough team to make a run. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do that. I'm a strong believer in a lot of that NL East. I think the Phillies and the Mets are both going to turn it around, honestly. Phillies have started doing so, honestly. I've seen.
Yeah, Phillies have looked a lot better.
A lot of baseball left, though.
Absolutely. Tons of baseball left as we're only getting into, beginning of July here. But the next point I got, Los Angeles Angels superstar Shohei Ohtani continues his impressive AL MVP campaign. Ohtani hit his longest home run of his career on Friday evening in a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ohtani hit a 493-foot homer, but the Angels would go to lose that game by a score of 6-2. What do you guys think about that? Ohtani just still killing it. We talk about him every couple weeks now. What do you think?
The face of baseball. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the face of baseball. He keeps doing crazy things, and I love how you see all the memes. Shohei Ohtani does this and this and this, and the Angels lose 9-7. Or he has 493-foot home run and a 6-2 loss. Like, it's just a shame. And now you see him go in the IR and Trout go in the IR. And Rendon got hurt. They all got hurt yesterday on the 4th of July. So I saw something 4th of July to forget for the LA Angels as all three of the big dogs went on the IR. But
no,
yeah.
Ohtani's playing tonight.
Is he? I thought didn't he stub his finger or something?
He hurt his finger. It's more of a pitching injury, though. He's still going to hit.
Okay.
He's batting third tonight. I was surprised to see that as well, though.
I thought for sure with him, like, a day off, you're not a playoff team.
Well, like you were alluding to, with the door being wide open for him to leave, I mean, if they're like, hey, he can go, might as well get the most out of him while he's here, put him in the lineup, bat him 3. But,
yeah, they know he's leaving, so.
Super athlete, one of the best athletes when you go sport by sport. You look at Ohtani, I mean, he does everything. Obviously, the finger injury hurts, but I saw some stats, like, his pace for the year.
Is it on his throwing hand?
Yeah, I think it is. It's on his finger. And,
yeah, that's what I mean. On his throwing hand?
Yeah. He should be fine, though. He could probably just miss a start before the All Star break. But the thing I keep thinking about is the pace that he's on versus what Aaron Judge had last year. He's hit 30 home runs before Judge did. One of the first people hit 30 before July. He had like 15 home runs in 22 games. All these stats are pretty crazy. It looks like he could be going for that home run record if he keeps it up.
You imagine he breaks it the year after Judge gets it and everyone was freaking out.
That'd be nuts. And we were
that would
looking
be
at the odds
crazy.
the other day to win, or not the other day, probably the last time the Jesse was on the pod. So that was 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We were looking at the odds, and I asked him with a long shot bet, and he chose that one. Remember, Ohtani to win the home run.
Yeah, what was it? +3. It was like 375 when you said that.
Yeah, it was a great line. And now you probably go look at that. He's probably minus, I'd guess, maybe minus 125.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff happening in the MLB right now as we're, again, rounding June or July. So the next point I have here moves over. The Kansas City Royals have traded Aroldis Chapman to the Texas Rangers in exchange for Cole Reagans and Ronnie Cabrera. Those Rangers just getting more guys.
Yeah, they're in the hunt. And Chapman has a lot of that experience, winning, 1 or 2 World Series, being in a few. So, hard-throwing lefty, why not add him to the pen? Wouldn't be surprised if he takes over as their primary closer there.
Yeah, he has that ring with the Cubs, and all I remember from that is him when he got shelled, and I think it was Game 6 where he gave up the lead in the 9th inning or something. I just remember him looking over his shoulder, just kind of like, fuck me.
But they still won that game. He got bailed out, but I remember he gave up that home run to that outfielder. Who was it? Eddie Rosario, maybe? Somebody on the Indians back when Cleveland was fiending a championship. But he's been on the Yankees in those high-pressure situations. Never comes through in the clutch too much, but he's been like one of the top arms in the MLB since he came into the league. You got to get a guy that throws 103. I'd take him every day. The Pirates have the first pick.
Yeah, Pirates have the first pick. I saw something today that they're not even interested in any of the college players. They're about to just draft a fucking high school player.
That's usually, dude.
That's usually the best ones,
though.
though.
Yeah, the first few overall picks are usually high school guys.
The Red Sox had the number 2 pick like 3 years ago, and they took Marcelo Meyer. Now he's the number 3 prospect in the league.
There's 3 of them in the top 10 that I see right here.
Yeah.
I feel like drafting in the MLB is just like, dude, you get rid of all your prospects. Like, nobody holds on to their prospects all the way up.
That's not true, though. Look at the Baltimore Orioles and what they've done. Look at everybody who's coming up now and contributing. They just had another guy make his debut today. They've had like probably 4 top 20 prospects make their debut this year.
Yeah, but I saw a TikTok that was like, it actually might have even been the Orioles, but it was like this team's like top 10 prospects in 2017, and every single guy was not in the organization anymore.
Yeah, a lot of them do sell high on them, but a lot of teams ride them out too. Look at Volpe. I mean, but it's weird where they get drafted. But guys like Drew Jones, those blue chip prospects are like so important to ride out. Like Drew Jones is going to be the number 1 prospect in baseball. He was drafted last year.
Yeah, this mock draft that I'm looking at right now from Perfect Game has Max Clark going first overall to the Pirates, and then it has all the college guys that we all know. Skeens 2, Dylan Cruz 3 to the Tigers. Another high school kid, number 4 to the Rangers.
I mean, look at Bryce Harper.
Langford from Florida, number 5.
Bryce Harper came right out of high school. They knew that he was going to be that good.
That's a rare talent, though.
Yeah, but usually that's what's been happening lately. Adley Rutschman.
Bryce was like one of the most hype. He was like compared to like LeBron for baseball.
Yeah,
I thought the Pirates were going to get Dylan Cruz, or were looking at Dylan Cruz, but I saw something today they're not like supposedly interested in him. And then obviously there's 2 high school players. I guess that's the kid that they're mainly interested in. But I wanted them to get the pitcher, Skeens from LSU. That dude was a stud in the College World Series.
The tough thing is those pitchers are tough to take early in the baseball drafts because those are the ones that usually fade out. Look at those guys from the last
time
few
the
years.
Pirates took a pitcher first overall, though, it was Garrett Cole. So like, if they like it, go get it.
But what about like those Vanderbilt pitchers like Leader and Kumar Rocker? They've been
I was gonna say Jack Leiter and
they were supposed to, it's tough to follow those, but
those
the
2 were
position
supposed
players,
to be studs, and the
you
Pirates
can find
went
the
for
position players that can be good at like 18, 17 years old. The thing is, those Pirates have such a good farm system already. And youth coming into the MLB, like they got to figure out where someone fits that they need. Like, what do the Pirates need? Probably some outfielders, right?
Our outfield right now is aging. See, that's my thing. It's like when in doubt, I just draft pitching. But I get what you mean. Those are the guys that don't necessarily always do. You know what I mean? What he's doing at LSU, there's no way to say he's going to do that against half of or any of the NL Central if he goes to the Pirates. You know what I mean?
Realistically, he probably won't. It's just
Yeah, it takes time.
You guys got into the draft pretty good there, but the draft begins here on July 9th on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. The Pittsburgh Pirates have that first pick overall. You got something to say off?
I hate how the MLB draft is in the middle of the season.
Yeah, why do they
So
do that?
weird.
It's the only sport that does it. They also have like 1,000 picks.
Because it's the end of the college and high school seasons, though.
Oh, that's what it is.
Isn't it like 20 rounds?
But then why?
I think
Ace,
it's like
why
26.
Ace, when does baseball season start? Like,
I
Baseball
don't know if that's right. Don't quote me, but like it could be school years and having to do with that too.
true. I was gonna say, well, it would make most sense for it to be in like November.
It seems like it's after the high school years over, though.
They would be halfway through another semester, like in college or like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true. That
think
does
about
make
it.
sense.
It's an interesting thought. I didn't think of that.
Oh, you're so right. Yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I also don't like how the fact that you can just like turn down getting drafted and just try again next year.
They're like, yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah. Like no.
Well, that happens. That happens a lot with people coming out of high school. I mean, I do like that though. You can kind of pick your landing spot, but a lot of people do it to increase their draft stock.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like that happens more in baseball than any other sport where you get drafted and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to go back to college for 3 years. And it's like, what happens with that pick? Like the Pirates have a first overall pick. Say they draft this kid out of high school and he's like, I'm going back to high school or I'm going to college for 4 years. And then he ends up getting redrafted anyway. So like, you just waste a first overall pick.
No, if he doesn't like turn it down and like decide to re-enter, the Pirates still have his rights. Like it's not like just because he's not going to the team right away. They would
just try to move
rights
him
for him. Yeah, he's just a prospect that like if they wanted to add like a trade piece or something like that, they could.
Yeah, he would literally just be a trade piece until they can move them.
Yeah, you have to like actually like deny the draft and like say you're gonna re-enter next year or something.
Yeah. Who did that in the NFL? Didn't like Drew Brees do that, or who was it?
I didn't know you could
Eli
do that in
Manning.
any other sport. No, Eli Manning just said that he's not playing for the Chargers, so they just traded the first and third overall pick once Philip Rivers was drafted.
Yeah, you got to read that Drew Brees book. It's actually a pretty good one. Autobiography about that story.
Yeah, Eli said he's
I was never a huge Drew Brees guy.
He overcame a lot of adversity, though. His career shouldn't have kept going after his initial injury, and then Sean Payton took the chance on him.
Good stuff there, boys, in the draft. Let's move over to the All Star game, the MLB All Star game. The starting lineups have been announced just before the 4th of July here. Some of the best players of the AL and NL are ready to battle it out on Tuesday, July 11th in Seattle, Washington. Just before this, on the night of July 10th, we'll have the infamous Home Run Derby where we get to see tons of great shots to the seats of the stadium and beyond. So why don't we jump into some of these starting lineups for the American League and the National League? I believe we have everything but the starting pitchers. So, like catcher, Jonah Heim. First baseman, Yandy Diaz. This is the American League. Second base, Marcus Seaman. Third base, Josh Jung. Shortstop, Corey Seager. Outfield, Mike Trout. Another outfielder, Randy Rosarina. Another outfielder, Aaron Judge. And for DH, Shohei Ohtani. All right, and let's shift our focus over to the National League. At catcher, we got Sean Murphy. First baseman, Freddie Freeman. Second base, Luis Arez. Third base, Nolan Ariendo. I don't even know how to say that. Arenado.
I thought my mic was muted.
Arenado. Shortstop, Orlando Arcia. Outfielder, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mookie Betts, and Corbin Carroll. And DH, we got JT Martinez. As well as, these jerseys are pretty interesting as well. I think they're trying to go off those Mariners colors a little bit, but curious to hear what you guys think about those as well. So, All-Star game coming in here Tuesday, July 11th, Seattle, Washington, home of the Mariners. What do you guys think?
I'd like to hear everyone's biggest snub.
I didn't really look into that.
Mac, are you saying from the starting lineup or from the whole All-Star game? Because they even announced reserves now.
No, we'll go starting lineup.
Okay. That's such a tough question.
I have two off the top of my head. One of them's biased. The other one is
I think one we're gonna have in common. It's definitely Adley Rutschman, right?
Well, oh yeah, I didn't even think about him, but yeah, definitely. Wait, he's not even a reserve?
No. Oh, okay. I thought you said starting lineup because Jonah Heim's starting.
Yeah, I would have said Rutschman. I didn't even think about
That's
that.
great. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Damn. But
I mean,
I was
Texas
thinking of
Rangers.
Rafi Devers. I think he kind of got snubbed on that. And then might be a little biased, but I think Lindor got snubbed. I know his his average is low. It's like a 226 compared to who the fuck got it? The guy from the Braves. I can't think of his name.
Orlando Arcia. A lot of people are mad about that.
He's batting like 296, but dude, he has 7 home runs and 28 RBIs. Lindor has like 18 home runs and 55 RBIs. Like, how is a guy that doubling you in stats? Like, I understand he's a 226 ERA or batting average, so it's a little hard.
That's terrible.
It's pretty bad, but he's putting up numbers that like he's like top 10 in RBIs in the league. Like he's producing when it matters.
Yeah, no,
He's runners on base. He's hitting the ball.
I think he came in second for shortstops, which is we picked him to be our starting shortstop when we did the bracket. Orlando Arcia, you got to give the nod to the best team in baseball. The defense he plays is definitely superior to Francisco Lindor. I bet you he crushes him on the base paths as well. That average definitely comes into play, but I really just think it's because he's on the best team in baseball.
Yeah, but dude, the Braves already have so many.
Look at what they're doing, though. They just win every night, so they deserve it.
Yeah, he's 10th in RBIs in the league.
We talk about it all the time, though. We're like, why didn't we card their first 5 or first inning total? It's because that lineup hits 1 through 9. Just because he's not Ronald Acuna or Sean Murphy, I mean, he's still having a great year. But no, I still would have taken Lindor over him as well. But I understand why Arcia won that.
Here's my take about these uniforms. One, I think the National League ones are better, and two, I wish they just didn't wear the All-Star jerseys. I wish they just all wore their the white. Yeah, they go back to what they used to do, and maybe like the special hat was cool, but like I don't know. I think they should all wear their normal uniforms.
I think these All-Star game jerseys are ugly as shit.
I think the American League ones are brutal. I kind of like the National League ones, but it's just kind of because you can't really see that design as much.
Yeah, you can't see that shitty design in the back.
What is it?
It's like a wave.
That's kind of what I thought at first, but like
I don't know.
I don't understand like the cross, like the checkeredness inside of like some of the pieces. Like
it's like a camo vibe.
Looks like a
it's kind of like how the NHL made those the first time they did 3-on-3 jerseys. They're trying to make them too flashy nowadays, in my opinion. It's like
the only people that buys All-Star jerseys anymore are kids 12 and under.
The only All-Star jersey I had was the Ortiz one. It was orange from when he played in San Francisco.
I feel like the baseball ones are different. Like baseball All-Star jerseys, but like, dude, no one's buying an NHL All-Star jersey. Are you going out and buying a Pro Bowl jersey?
No.
Still.
Well, because baseball jerseys are easier to rock, like just like going.
And the home run derby, that's probably the real reason I did it when Ortiz was hitting home runs into the bay.
Well, like when Josh Bell did the home run derby a couple years ago, I wanted to get the All-Star jersey that year, him, and it was like sleeveless. I was like, I would never wear that.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Whack.
The color scheme is just tough. I mean, I know they're going Mariners heavy, but like,
when Bell did it, and I was looking at that jersey, that sleeveless one, it was when it was in Cleveland. So it was really just a navy blue jersey. It said National League in red, so it was like wasn't that bad. It was just a red, white, and blue jersey.
Yeah, that is cool.
But I don't like these jerseys.
I used to always rep those All-Star game hats. I'm a big hat guy, like Mackey and Newhoff. So I'd get a new like Red Sox hat, a few of them every year. I get the fitted one, like the All-Star game ones. It was something I'd get a lot, just with different colors and designs for the All-Star game. I'm eager to see what they look like this year, though. I only saw the jerseys. I don't know if you guys happen to see the hats at all.
I haven't seen them, no.
Guessing pretty similar with that design and color scheme.
Dude, that's tough. I just randomly, like, I forgot they did that they're always, like, the host team's colors. And I remember that the Pirates hosted it in 06, and look at these American League jerseys. They're literally just like Pirate jerseys. But Mariano Rivera.
It's kind of cool, though.
I like that.
That's tough, dude.
Look up the ones from San Francisco that, like...
The National League ones were yellow. The National League ones weren't as cool, but the
black
American
ones
League
look sick. No, but going back to Mackey's point about big snubs, I thought Wander Franco, obviously that shortstop position in the AL, but the Rangers dominated the starting lineup card, which is crazy to me. I would have liked to have seen Wander Franco get the start. Definitely Rutschman too. Like Mackie said, the whole Red Sox team, Verdugo, Yoshida, and Devers numbers are insane, but poverty team right now, so that's why you miss out on a lot of starts. Obviously, my boy Kenley Jansen got in as a reliever. But I think for starting pitchers, I think we're talking about those who are to be announced yet. On the National League side, I'm probably going to give the start to Kershaw if he's healthy, but I don't think he's going to be. So it's going to be Spencer Strider, in my opinion, the strikeout king in the NL. And then on the AL side, it's a tough call. It's probably going to be McClanahan, right? We were talking about this the other day. It's got to be McClanahan, right, Mackie?
It's going to be McClanahan.
So you think McClanahan versus Strider?
Yeah, it could be. It also could be Framber. Everyone's so high on Framber this year.
Framber and Clayton are both hurt, though.
Oh, he's hurt right now?
He's being rested. He got his start pushed back.
Justin Steele of the Cubs, too. He's got a 2.43 ERA.
I think if they went with a Cub, though, they'd have to go with Stroh, no?
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I think you should just go with Strider, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the mustache and the strikeouts, how do you not?
Yeah, he's a beast. Also, Grant Williams went to the Mavs.
They sucks anyways, thank God.
Good stuff there. Yeah, the MLB All Star game and All Star weekend is this upcoming weekend, starting and beginning of next week. So lots to look forward to as we continue through the MLB. I got another point here. On only July 2nd, the NL MVP frontrunner Ronald Acuna Jr. already broke his single-season career high in steals by swiping his 38th bag with over half the season to go. How many can the superstar finish with? What do you guys see? Him keeping on this path, or what do you think?
You think he has more? He's gonna how many more steals is he gonna have than home runs? It's crazy because he's 30 plus in both, right?
I think this is the most electrifying player in the NL. I mean, I want to say the whole league just because he's the flashiest, but you got to give Ohtani his props. I think he's my favorite. This is my favorite guy to watch. Obviously, I watch a lot more Braves games than I do Angels games just because of the time, being on the Eastern time. But I don't know. I think Acuna, the stats he's putting up this year, this Braves lineup is loaded. You check the score; they're up 5-0. Like Ace said, a lot of these. Really early on, this lineup gets rolling, and when they're hitting, it seems like they can't stop. And him, like you heard that All-Star lineup, half the guys are Braves. It seems like so, but he's really having a special year. I don't know exactly what he's going to get to, but who's first if he's in second with this?
Esteury Ruiz on the Oakland Athletics. That guy says like almost 50 swipes already.
So that's all he does.
They timed the just get there. Acuna's 41, but dude, I honestly don't like this new rule with the stealing bases. Like it's almost like
it's free.
Like it's so much, dude. And it's like changing the game completely.
The new rules and pitch clocks and whatnot, it makes it so easy for elite base stealers to like grab free bases nowadays.
Yeah, listen to this though. Ruiz and Acuna are at 42 and 41. Wander Franco is in third with 27.
He's missed a lot of time, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's 14 in between the second and third. That's insane.
You know what's crazy though is Acuna's batting average versus Ruiz. Ruiz is stealing is like way every time he's on probably.
Yeah, definitely. Because Acuna's on base way more.
Well, Acuna's hitting the ball out of the park a lot, but when he's on, he is on base a lot more.
So he's the NL lead in steals.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right. Most electrifying player in baseball. I'm gonna say Ohtani's the best, but Acuna is the flashiest, best.
He's the flashy highlight. Like
he's what everybody thought Fernando Tatis was.
Yeah, he's got the yellow armband, the yellow cleats, the yellow everything.
The World Series ring.
Yeah, that's really the important thing.
Even though he was hurt, he was hurt. Player.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He'll get paid like it next year.
Ace, wasn't Acuna hurt when they won the ring?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
wasn't a part of that run.
He's been on the team for the past 3 runs, right? They've gotten to the NL championship at least 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he was not. He didn't play in that World Series.
No, Marcell Ozuna had a big playoffs.
That was like the come out party of him.
Yeah. I mean, he was a part of that former Marlins outfield. You remember Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton, and Marcell Ozuna? I mean, that's a powerhouse outfield that they'll let everybody walk. That was the team that made the playoffs with Jose Fernandez.
Yeah.
They also had Freddie.
Now they're back. Now they're back to their winning ways. The Marlins. I mean, that team is loaded right now, and they're rolling.
Good stuff, boys. Lots to look forward to in the MLB as we keep moving through that season. Just the beginning of July. We got a couple months left before good October baseball. Let's move forward to the NHL, the NHL Free Agency.
Wait. Did we read the power rankings through?
Oh, no, we didn't.
I thought we left off on purpose, but I was like, I thought it should have been. I didn't know.
Alrighty, and before we finish off with the MLB, I have our power rankings for this week that we're ready to post. At number 5, we have the Miami Marlins. Number 4, the Texas Rangers. Number 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays. And number 1, the Atlanta Braves. So lots of good stuff there as the rankings change there a little bit. I believe
First time this year that the Rays aren't number 1.
Just thinking that good stuff there. That's something to see.
Yeah, the Braves have been knocking on that door for a few weeks now. They definitely deserve it. I think they deserved it last week too, but
Braves have been knocking on that door all season.
Yeah, they had a rough start to this, or first 20 games of the season, but the Rays started off what were they, 20-3, so
yeah,
everyone's been playing catch up since then. But Rays are definitely the best team in the league, so they deserve it.
Best lineup in the league too. Best pitching staff in the league, maybe.
Probably, yeah. You got Brett Elder with the second or third highest best ERA in the league.
Yeah, and then you Strider in front of them. You got Soroka. You got Max Fried coming back at some point. They have all these top prospect young arms too, and then the bats. I mean, everybody can hit, like Huff said earlier. So, great list. I like it, boys. I do expect some movement between 3 and 5 next week.
That's just going to about wrap up everything we have for the MLB this week. Let's shift our focus over to the NHL. The free agency has opened up, so teams are just biting to get their players locked back up for a few years, as well as find some players that are looking to find a new home.
How do we want? There's so much here. How do we want to go about this?
I was going to go through these 6 teams.
Yeah, I like the layout we have.
I think we're going to start off here. Hometown for Huff and I, Pittsburgh Penguins. After a big role for the Devils in their return to the playoffs last season, defenseman Ryan Graves agreed to term with the Penguins. 6-year, $27 million deal there. Penguins also added a veteran penalty killer Lars Eller for a 2-year, $4.9 million contract. The Penguins have also elected to bring back netminder Tristan Jarry, 5 years, just shy of $27 million for him, as well as they signed Alex Nedeljkovic to a 1-year, $1.5 million pact. And the final one I have here is I assume it's Noel.
I have no idea.
Noel
Acciari
has agreed to join the Penguins. 3-year, $6 million deal. He's a forward.
Start off. Paid too much. Never heard of him.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are some nice pickups. You got a nice backup for Jari and Nedeljkovic. And Ryan Graves is a nice young defenseman. He's pretty good. So some nice pickups for you guys. I guess you guys are trying to
I
really
love
like
the
that
Nedeljkovic.
Ryan Graves move. And
I love the
Nedeljkovic. That is a good point.
move. He has the potential to take over the crease. I mean, he's a young guy that played great in Carolina. He played well in Detroit. I mean, Tristan Jarry, with his injuries and his struggles, he could easily lose that crease. That's why I was so surprised they gave him that deal they did. 5 years for a guy that seems to be your Achilles heel and sometimes during the season. I mean, that's nuts to me, especially with the guys still on the market. Guys that were signed. I mean, Samsonov's going to be on the market. You could probably pry Kemper from the Caps. I mean, guys like Gibson and Hellebuck. Anderson just got re-signed. There's a lot of movement, and you stuck with Jerry. You guys loving that?
Probably would have preferred Smith, but I think probably Smith was sick and tired of being second all the time.
Smith's a solid backup is all in my opinion, but the goalie market's so wide open. I would have tested the waters and went somewhere else, especially with the contract they gave him, 5 years too. A lot of guys would sign a 5-year contract. A lot of better guys than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Other than that, I don't mind the moves they made. They keep themselves cup relevant in the Crosby era, so like why not? But I bet you they could. With that deal, they're not doing anything else. That's your goaltending tandem for what? 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, just about. We'll see. You got anything else on that one, Huff?
I like the Graves move a lot. Get some young legs back on the blue line. That's exactly what we need. We moved on from Dumoulin. Saw him, I think, go to Seattle. I was excited to see them move on from him and get a younger set of legs in here. And Ryan Graves, like Mackie said, he had a great year last year with the Devils, and excited to see what he can do here in a top 4 role with us.
I love that move as well. I mean, it was great too. You signed him, then you extended him. Like you gave him like what, 5 years, 6 years? So
6 years, $27 million. So that's a good deal too, because a young defenseman like that deal works in the Penguins' favor, in my
how
opinion.
old is he?
It's $4.5 million a year.
I think he's
I was
like
gonna say
24, 25.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a great deal. Because if he
I could be
can
wrong.
keep
I could
elevating
be
his
wrong.
game, that might be a good price point to have him at
28.
each year.
He is that
Right.
old?
He's 95.
I thought he was like a year older than me. Like,
So that's
No,
like
I think
that's
he
probably
played in
like
Colorado before he played.
he
New
was in
Jersey.
Colorado. When you Google him, that's a picture that pops up. I think it was just let me see his teams. Carolina, or no, that's the last 5 games. Colorado and the Devils. 3 years in Colorado, 2 years with the Devils.
You guys see
His
Radko Gudas
his
got a
first
good
year-
deal too?
His first year was 2018, 2019 with Colorado, and he played 26 games. But then the next year, he played the full season with them. Yeah, I like that move. We can move on though. That was the one I really wanted to touch on.
I think you guys missed out on Gudas though. I think he's such a great playoff performer. He would have fit well on your team, especially eating minutes on a thin defensive core.
Yeah, but seeing him go to the Ducks, we won't have to see him in the playoffs ever.
Yeah, that is great news. Stay out west.
Absolutely. We'll have to see what the Penguins do with these players coming into this season, but for now, let's move on to the New York Rangers. The incoming Rangers head coach Peter Lavoie will have at least one familiar face joining him from the Capitals as New York has re-signed
Laviolette.
Laviolette.
I was like, wait a second.
I know I'm terrible with names, but New York signed defenseman Eric Gustafsson to a 1-year, $825,000 contract. Connecticut native Nick Bonino will join his fellow Constitution Stater Jonathan Quick on the Rangers, inking a 1-year, $800 contract. As well as after having his contract bought out by the Jets this week, veteran forward Blake Wheeler has signed a 1-year, $800,000 deal with the Rangers with $300,000 available in potential bonuses. So what do you guys think the Rangers are going to do this upcoming season?
Mackie, I'll let you go here real quick. So, did the Penguins traded for Bonino last year at the trade deadline? I think he played 1 game, got hurt, and then he left again. So he played 1 game coming back here. Is that correct? Does anyone know that? Jesse,
I'm
you know,
not
can you confirm or
but
deny?
I'll let you know.
All right, Mackie, you go ahead on your New York Rangers. I like this Blake Wheeler move. I thought that was a great addition. Obviously, I keep seeing things that Tarasenko's on his way out. But what do you think about a couple of these moves that they've made so far?
I do really love it. Jury's making some really good moves in the beginning of free agency, and the main thing about it is that you're signing these guys for $800,000. Johnny Quick, Nick Bonino was $800,000. Gustafsson, Blake Wheeler, all for $800,000, which is the league minimum. You're creating room to maybe even be able to re-sign Vladimir Tarasenko. You're probably going to get at least him or Kane back. So regardless of which direction we go there, I think you can't really go wrong. But Jury's definitely making some really good moves. I love Quick as a backup, solid backup for a top 3 goalie in the league in Igor Shesterkin. But you're signing depth pieces with Blake Wheeler, who's got a lot of veteran experience. Gustafsson's nice in the back end. I really like what Jury did here. I like the pieces we picked up so far.
Mackie, I have 2 takes when I think of these moves that the New York Rangers did. I'll come with the first one. That's got to be, I got to get it off my chest before you do it to me with our signings. But why are you guys getting so old on a team that is so young? Everybody's past their prime. They might have been good in 2014. Bruins did the same thing, but now I'll get to my real take on it. I do like the money and the contracts that they spent on a team that's right there. We saw they were right there in a cup in a loaded East, and if you can get out of it, you never know. The Panthers did it. So why not spend cheap and upgrade in areas that you can? You don't need Kane. You don't need Tarasenko. Wheeler can play that role. Jonathan Quick's better than Halak. Brings winning experience to the locker room. Hopefully some good juju into New York. I like these moves, but I feel like they're not enough for a team that was outplayed by the New Jersey Devils, a team that got even better. So I think they need to do a little bit more here this offseason.
Yeah, not a bad take, but in my opinion, the Rangers were the better team in that series. Just underperformed. So like you don't really need to add the extra pieces. You just need your big guys to step up. And if you're going to roll with them again, then you got to trust them to get it done next year. I think top to bottom, we definitely have one of the best rosters in the East, and we could be one of the best teams in the East. The big guys got to play. So you're bringing Jonathan Quick and Blake Wheeler into this locker room. Jonathan Quick has the cup, and Blake Wheeler's just been in the league forever.
Former captain Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, exactly. Former captain Blake
Team
Wheeler.
USA. He's got all the accolades.
Yeah, I think Drury's got to be doing something here with either Tarasenko. I don't think Blake Wheeler can do the exact same thing that Tarasenko can. I think keeping Tarasenko would be huge. And we're holding on to a lot of money right now, so maybe we can get it done. But I think all the pieces are there. Everything's got to come together. The big guys got to step up. The Vanaged, Panarin, playoffs come around, you cannot go ghost. And I think the roster is there. So if we can just play to our potential, this team definitely has what it takes.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad moves. I just think the Devils had a better offseason so far. That team's probably the scary. I mean, the Hurricanes had a great offseason too.
Dude, both of those. I mean, the Met is so loaded. But I don't think we got better than
either of them.
The Canes or the Devils. The Devils definitely upgraded big. But I don't know.
I think the Devils are going to upgrade in net too.
They need to. If they do, like I said last week, they could be Cup favorites. If they can get either Hellebuck or
Gibson.
Yeah, I saw that you said that. I don't really think that Gibson is Cup.
You think he's just venting?
Yeah, I also didn't even think he was that good on Anaheim. I think he thinks that he's not playing to his full potential because of the trash team he's had around him. But I think he's going to get lit up next year wherever he goes to. I don't think he's that good of a goalie.
Really? I'm complete opposite. I'm a big Gibson believer. I watch him play night in and night out on those West Coast late night games. He's putting up those crazy saves, the crazy stat lines with no help in front of him. Former USA starting goaltender too. Same with Hellebuck. That's pretty funny. I mean, those are two big names on the market. But I think there's going to be other names on the market that are just as good to step into that crease for the Devils that were better than what they had.
I think you got to go at Hellebuck here to get that veteran goalie experience. Who has a Vezina in his back pocket?
That'd be the craziest move of all time, though.
Yeah, I think you roll with someone like Samsonov, you're not going to get the job done. It's just a guy that's been underachieving year in and year out. So,
but that's who you end up with if you're sleeping during free agency.
But he costs some money too. Like you're gonna pay for a guy like him, and I just don't think it's worth it.
It'll be interesting to follow, though. Two very solid teams with lofty expectations coming into the new season. I like the Laviolette ad as well. I know we've talked about it a few times, but I think he should provide some stability in winning back there.
Accountability is the main thing. He holds his players accountable really well. Gerard Gallant did not do anything like that. And that's what we need. Our star guys need to be held accountable.
Good stuff there, boys. Yeah, the Rangers getting some different moves here. Let's move over to your Bruins ace. Starting off, veteran blue liner Kevin Shattenkirk is heading to Boston, signing a one-year deal with the Bruins. Milan Lucic is coming back to Boston as the bruising veteran winger, has inked a one-year, $1 million deal. After spending time in the Pacific Northwest with the Kraken, Morgan Geekie is heading to the Northeast, signing a two-year, $4 million deal with the Bruins. Finally, veteran forward Patrick Brown is signed with the Bruins, agreeing to a two-year, $1.6 million contract. Any other ads? Anything I missed? What do you guys think? What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I mean, like Mackey's team, I would trip myself here with that first take. I would say, wow, you're getting guys that were good maybe in 2016, right? But the Bruins have a much different situation than the New York Rangers. They have one of the tightest cap spaces in the NHL. That's why we saw them offload guys like Hall and Foligno, and that's why we saw them let guys like Bertuzzi and Orlov and Hathaway walk. You put your chips all in last year and you failed, so now you got to reap those benefits. They're setting themselves up for a great cap run next year with the expanded cap. So that's like a lot of people are holding out hope for that. But I still think this team's really good. Shattenkirk, good third pair defenseman. He replaces Connor Clifton. I think that's an upgrade. JVR comes at $1 million playing in the Taylor Hall role. Taylor Hall was getting like $4.5 to $6 million to do what he did. JVR for $1 million is a great placement there. Obviously losing Bertuzzi hurts. A lot of Boston fans were pretty butthurt about that. Patrick Brown, Milan Lucic, good depth signings, but they'll be in the press box more often than not. But I'm just waiting to see. The big things are Truce Bergeron, David Krejci. We got to hear that news that at least one of them's coming back. I'm hoping it's Bergeron, but I think these are okay moves by the Bruins so far. I think they're going to do some more trades and whatnot. Don Sweeney's going to get creative. I don't know what you guys think about these Bees early veteran moves.
Yeah, some of these moves. I mean, the Lucic move coming back, obviously, that kind of surprised me. But I do like the Shattenkirk move. I think that is, like you said, good stability in the bottom. Excuse me, pairs of your defense. But I don't know. What is there any word? Like, is it or Bergeron, and are they supposed to come back, or is it truly like they're going to do what they did last year, just wait and see what happens with the roster?
I think they're going to wait and see what they did last year with the roster. And that's why they held out last year and they played for like $1 million. They played for pennies last year. And that's what they'd end up doing again if they signed that year contract to chase the cup one more time. But I think Bergeron's much more realistic coming off the Selke season than Krejci, who was injured in the playoffs, who already left for a year, right? I think Lucic signing him, maybe that's like Cam Neely, Don Sweeney's way of saying, hey, come on back with the band. But personally, I'll enjoy watching Lucic fight, but I hope he's in the press box more often than not because those legs are so slow and the turnovers are costly. But he's got the heart of a lion.
And another team, you guys touched on like how good the Devils got. Another team that I thought got really good that I saw we're not really going to touch on much, but
the Leafs.
The Leafs, yeah, what they're doing. You touched on Bertuzzi. They got Bertuzzi. They got Domi off of Dallas. They're definitely targeting that certain style of player. Yeah,
dude, the Ryan Reeves contract is terrible though.
You know what they're doing? They have all the pieces, but they just haven't been a physical team. They're getting the grit into that lineup.
Domi, Bertuzzi, and Reeves.
And they got two grit players that can score, and they got Reeves as a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, it's they got to try something out. They have all the pieces there. That's the only thing that they haven't had, and it just hasn't worked out. So I mean, last resort, just go to the big bodies to get it done down deep in the corners and set a tone. I like what they're doing over there.
I like those moves by Toronto. I really do.
I like them too.
The one thing I wanted to touch on.
I also love the Toronto trade deadline acquisitions, and I like their moves last year in free agency, but they never pan out for some reason. They brought in Ryan O'Reilly, and now he's gone. I mean, obviously replacing him with Domi and Bertuzzi on the 1-year deal, getting paid like $7 million annually. So he's just gonna play with Matthews here, and hopefully they're trying to shoot for the cup in 1 year with those two because they won't be there the following year. And then Reeves, though, for 3 years, I'm not giving Ryan Reeves a 3-year deal. Ryan Reeves isn't coming. He's not coming anywhere near my team. I saw what he did on the New York Rangers. They tried to use him perfectly. They're a great team, cup-ready team. They added Ryan Reeves, and he did nothing. He actually put their team backwards, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, you try and bring it. Yeah, I
disagree. I think he was a good piece for the Rangers.
Oh, but yeah, when it came to winning, no, that Leafs. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, the only problem, it worked up until we ran into the Lightning, and then you either had to put him in the lineup to set a tone and lose a guy that you should be starting, or you just got to put him on the bench, and that's where we kind of realized we were just like, we got to get rid of him because we don't.
I wouldn't play with Milan Lucic or Ryan Reeves in my lineup in the NHL nowadays.
Yeah, I think Milan Lucic was a pretty bad signing in my opinion, but bring him bring him back.
Let him retire there.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's on $700K contract. When you have no flexibility in salary cap, I mean, you'll take whatever you can get. Why not take that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be huge to see what Bergeron does, though. I know you guys already talked about it, but losing both Taylor Hall and Bertuzzi was huge. You guys definitely wanted to hold on to probably more Bertuzzi than Hall because of Hall's contract, but
I didn't want Hall anymore.
Yeah, the team's still good. They're obviously still top 5 team in the league, in my opinion. But they're losing a lot of depth pieces, and it's hard to do what they did last year again. So, I don't know. Well, it'll be cool to see what they end up doing with Krejci and Bergeron.
The Red Wings are another team I think Jess is gonna get into now that I'm eager to talk about.
Yeah, why don't we step into the Colorado Avalanche here? Veteran defenseman Jack Johnson's career will continue with the Avalanche as the two sides agree on a 1-year pact. Among other free agent signings, Saturday, the Avalanche agreed on a 2-year, $7.7 million extension with restricted free agent defenseman Bowen Byram. And finally, after playing 402 games with the Devils, Miles Wood will continue his NHL career with the Avs, agreeing to a 6-year, $15 million contract. So just like a couple little signings there. For some reason, the Avs are holding on to Jack Johnson. But any thoughts on that one? Got a couple more teams here to cover.
I like the Bowen Byram signing. He's a nice
Me
young
too.
gun that he has a huge huge ceiling, and you just locked him up for another 2 years.
At a cheap
Definitely
price.
Definitely a good guy you want to keep in the organization. He's a high ceiling in my opinion.
If he can stay on the ice though, he's had concussion issues. He debated retirement too, I recall last year.
He's like
but
25.
I know, and he debated because of his amount of concussions that he's had, and he took that time off away from the game for a while last year. But his skill is unmatched, and to get 2 years of that, at like what, $4 million? That's pretty nuts. But I like the Miles Wood signing. The rest of the depth pieces they added as well. I know they lost JT Compher and a few others, but we talked about Ryan Johansson last week. This team is looking to get back into the cup run, especially in a weak West. It's pretty wide open in my opinion.
You gotta remember, Landeskog is out for the season.
Yeah, they haven't played with him for what now, 2 years?
But over a year and a half, yeah.
He was there for the cup, wasn't he?
No, he dressed in the final game
Oh,
at the end to skate with the cup.
I actually do remember that you said that.
Good stuff there. The next team I want to go over, the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes free agent spree continues. Carolina signing forward Michael Bunting to a 3-year, $13.5 million contract. Next, following a post-trade glow-up with the Bruins to close out last season, Dmitry Orlov has signed a 2-year, $15.5 million deal with the Hurricanes. Frederick Anderson is elected to head back to Carolina, inking a 2-year, $6.8 million deal with the Hurricanes. And goaltender Antti Rianta, I can't say his name, Ranta, is back with the Hurricanes via 1-year, $1.5 million contract. You guys see the Hurricanes making any noise this upcoming season with some of these smaller these moves?
Are they the best team in the Metro?
Yeah.
Until it gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, they're the best team in the NHL.
I was gonna say until they blow
I don't know how
a minus 250 series favorited, you know what I mean, to whoever. I don't know. The last 3-4 times they've been in the conference finals, they're like 0-12. They've gotten swept. So,
This year
like
is the tell-all year for them, though. Their chips all in this year. I know last year they added a lot, but Sebastian Aho is a free agent after the season. If you don't find any other success besides reaching the Stanley Cup this season, I think he's out the door.
I think we've said that about this team multiple times. So
yeah, but I feel like how many times can you say that about the Carolina
How many
Hurricanes?
times has Sebastian Aho been on his last year of his contract?
I don't think Sebastian Aho is even the key to that team.
He's one of them. Jordan Stahl resigns for a 1-year deal. Your captain, he's basically on his way out. Frederick Anderson, 2-year deal. We get to see if he's the truth. I mean, he's always hurt, barely plays. You bring back Ranta too, like what? But I like the ads they got. I mean, how do they keep finding money? That defensive core is insane. Dmitry Orlov, Brent Burns, Jacob Slavin. I mean, those are 3 elite defensemen in the lead, and then they have some good depth behind it. Rob Brendemore's got a good roster.
Obviously, Freddie's a reliable source back there in the net, and I love Michael Bunting. That's a huge signing.
Me too. I can't believe he left Toronto.
Apparently, there's a cancer in that locker room. That's what I've been hearing. But
Is Austin Matthews?
I don't know. But Ryan O'Reilly just left. He got offered the same exact contract from Toronto, and he's from Toronto. Why are you going to leave that?
Maybe it's Tavares.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
You never know. That's it. That's interesting though.
Yeah, but Michael Bunting's so young too. I mean, he's on his way out already. He just made a name for himself. Now he's playing like probably third line minutes on the Hurricanes. Just another guy that can put the puck in the net. That team's a wagon until they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But Storm Surge will be rocking. Yeah.
And then they forget how to play hockey.
Alrighty, I got one more team to review here. The Detroit Red Wings. 26-year-old Nolan Stevens is elected to sign with the Red Wings, agreeing to terms on a 1-year, $775,000 deal. Versatile forward Christian Fischer joins the parade of talent heading to Detroit this season, inking a 1-year, $1.25 million deal with the Red Wings. The Red Wings also added defenseman Shane Gottsespierre to a 1-year, $4.125 million deal. JT Comfer has moved to the 313 area code, inking a 5-year, $25.5 million deal with the Red Wings. Daniel Sprong also reaching a 1-year, $2 million agreement with the Red Wings. Justin Holt left Toronto, but he isn't going too far away, inking a 3-year, $10.2 million deal with the Red Wings. After helping guide the Panthers to the playoffs last season, veteran goaltender Alex Lyon is heading to the Red Wings by way of a 2-year, $1.8 million contract. And James Reimer will also be in net for the Red Wings. 1 year, $1.5 million for him.
So, is Alex Lyon their starting goalie?
Well, they lost Nedeljkovic. Last year, they kind of rolled with him.
Husso.
And who was
Does they
the
have
other guy?
Husso?
Husso, yeah.
He's their one.
I forgot about him. Yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, you're signing 2 goalies like that. It's kind of weird.
2 depth
of
goalies
signs,
that
though.
are like unproven. Like Reimer's
Yeah.
old and Lyon's
This Detroit team is just building depth. They have a lot of young pieces. I like that. I really hated to see them lose Bertuzzi last year. Obviously now, like we said, he went from Aces Bruins now in Toronto, but I think they have a lot of young pieces. I'm a big Larkin guy. I think this Red Wings team is. I like a lot of these pieces. Comfort, a great depth player.
Comfort could turn into one of the best second line centers in the league. And
I really like a lot of these moves that Detroit's making. They're definitely one of the young teams to be on the up and coming in the East for sure.
The tough thing is though, they're the forgotten team in my opinion. You have the Bruins, you have the Leafs, you have the Lightning. That's what everybody thinks of now. You have the Panthers. They've been there the past few years. They just went to the Cup. That's your 4th team. The Buffalo Sabres are on the up and up with Tage Thompson, 50-goal scorer. And then you got the Red Wings right there as well. I mean, that Atlantic's pretty strong.
I don't think this
The
is
Ottawa
enough.
Senators.
I don't think this is enough to get the Red Wings into the playoffs. So
Me either.
The East is so hard, and you obviously have those 4 top teams in the Atlantic that you have to compete with, and then obviously you have those teams in the Met too that you got to deal with in the wild card. So definitely, I mean, you got to stack up at this point. You got to just kind of load up that roster, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough to get there.
They need their young talent to take a big leap.
I don't know. I was gonna say I'm expecting big years from guys like I think you could see Moritz Seider competing for a Norris Trophy in the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, but he was last year, wasn't he? He was top 5 defenseman last year.
He was the Calder, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's
No,
a
Matt
beast.
Beniers won it.
Oh no, 2 years ago.
That would have been 2
Seider
years
won
ago.
it,
2
yeah.
years ago.
Well, not 2 years ago. Last year, I guess. I don't know how to say that, but
2 seasons.
Yeah, I know. We're on the same page.
but yeah, the Red Wings they're a good young team.
Lucas
I guess,
Raymond.
but yeah, but again, like Lucas Raymond is not going to send you over the top. I mean, he would have to have a stellar season to even just like make that much more of an impact. Yeah, you got the Sabres coming up on the up and up. You got the Senators. I mean, both these teams. Senators getting rid of DeBrincat was
Save
crazy,
Tage.
in my opinion.
Like I think Tage Thompson is a better player and prospect than any guy the Red Wings have, but I'd take the Red Wings roster right now, guy for guy, over the Buffalo Sabres.
I disagree. I think the Sabres were 2 points out of a playoff spot this year.
I know. I'm just saying for the future, the young
I'll
guys.
take the
I'd
Sabres
that.
over the Red Wings for sure.
Yeah, so will I definitely, and I like the Red Wings, but there's
Me
so
too.
many teams that are right there that a losing streak, a 6-game losing streak, will just take you out of it.
I'll take Tage Thompson over Larkin. I'll take Darlene. No, probably not over Seider, but like he's right there. And they have so many other guys. Owen Power, Dylan Cousins, like all these young guys that
The
are
young
like
power, dude. That power play is just so elite because they're all just a bunch of skill players lighting it up, and
They just
those young
grabbed Connor
guys,
Clifton
man.
on like a 3-year, $10 million deal. I thought that was weird.
But yeah, I mean, Huff, I see what you're saying about the Red Wings. You can definitely make a case for either team, but just opinionated. I think the Sabres are on the up and up.
I think that's going to wrap up all the review we have for the NHL Free Agency. But I got a couple more points here revolving around the league, starting with goaltender John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks stated on the Nasty Knuckles podcast that he will not play another game for the Anaheim Ducks. I didn't see any reason to why, other than he's upset with their play the last few seasons with their rebuild and him just having to be a part of it. And he wants to be on a winning team. Alrighty, and next, the Atlanta Thrashers, a franchise relocated in 2011, has just been totally disbanded. Like we talked about, Blake Wheeler was the last official player of the Atlanta Thrashers organization to leave the pre-existing franchise now known as the Winnipeg Jets. Like we said, he signed the 1-year, $800 million deal, or $800,000 deal with the Rangers. The Jets now no longer have anybody under contract to once douse the baby blue threads. Any comment on this one?
No, I saw that, and that was the last time I've seen those Thrashers jerseys. I forgot what they looked like. I was never a huge fan of those uniforms, but
iconic though. They had some sick players. Keith Kachuk. They had Danny Heatley, Mark Savard, Blake Wheeler was on that team.
Bufflin.
Kovalchuk's heyday, dude. That was a fun team. Gonna miss that. Atlanta hockey.
Kovalchuk, man.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up everything we have in the NHL this week. I think we only got 1 point here in the NFL. Our third week of the NFL positional rankings. This time we want to take a look at the top 5 ball carriers going into 2023. Who do you guys have leading the way at the running back position? Who wants to get us going?
Here we go. Okay. Coming in with my top 5 running backs heading into this season, it's pretty clear cut for me. At number 5, a guy that's dealt with a lot of injuries. Obviously a tough one to put in there for some people, but I'm going to put Saquon Barkley there just because of his talent. I hate those Giants, but he's just a great ball carrier, and the quads, he gets through everything. Number 4, going to roll with Austin Eckler. Do it all running back. He can catch the ball, run the ball, finds the end zone week in and week out. And I think now that he's passed those contract negotiations, he's going to really excel this year and help those Chargers get to the playoffs. Coming in at number 3, I have Nick Chubb. I think he's the second best pure running back in the NFL behind Derrick Henry, who I have at number 2. But those two guys can just mash when they carry the ball. You can give them the rock 35 times a game. They're going to put up over 100 week in and week out. They're the focal points of their offense. That's why I got Chubb at 3, Henry at 2. And then number 1, I got CMC. Run CMC. When he's healthy, he's on. I mean, you saw it last year with Brock Purdy, electric in the NFC. Christian McCaffrey, better version of Austin Eckler, and he can do exactly what Henry and Chubb do. Best running back in the league.
I like that list.
Yeah, it's a good list.
I'll go right now. So I do have a different top 5, or at least 3 through 5 as you. I am going to put Jonathan Taylor at number 5. I think true potential, age, everything you have coming into this year. Obviously, coming off an injury last year, you don't really know what you're going to get with him this year. But I have him at number 5. Number 4, I do have Saquon Barkley sitting right there for all the reasons that Ace said. Number 3, I have Josh Jacobs, the leading rusher in the NFL last year. I have to respect him. I know the Raiders aren't necessarily. Obviously, they lost Derek Carr. They're bringing in Jimmy G. He got the surgery. You don't really know what's going on there under center, but I have Josh Jacobs at number 3, Derrick Henry 2, and Christian McCaffrey number 1. Same top 2 as you, but I do have Jacobs in there. I think the year that he had last year, the true potential, he's definitely one of the guys that I'm going to take, and my honorable mention is Nick Chubb. So that's my top 5 running backs in the NFL coming into this season.
I feel like that's a good list. I just feel like you're snubbing Nick Chubb, not even by his own doing, because they don't give him the ball enough in Cleveland.
It's good. It's the committee with Hunt and every guy said they're a true every down back. So like they get the ball, you know what I mean, 30 times a game. Chubb, not saying Chubb can't do it.
Any AFC North bias there for you?
No, I also I like Chubb because I'm also a Georgia guy. I don't know. I really think Barkley, like I'm taking Saquon, I'm taking Josh Jacobs, I'm taking my top 4 for sure. I definitely could say Chubb at 5 and Taylor is the honorable mention.
I have 2 quick questions before Mackie goes. How crazy is it that Dalvin Cook is not in anybody's top 5 anymore?
He's my 7.
And then also, how long until you think
8.
Najee Harris cracks the top 5 if he ever does?
I think this year would be the year, if any year, because he finally has a decent offensive line. I'm not saying like it's gonna happen. I'm saying like he's young. He has an offensive line.
He has to do it now, or else he's never doing it.
We now have a threat of a receiving game with a young quarterback that can move and extend plays. You know what I mean? Like this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I think like 3 through 8, 3 through 9 is pretty much interchangeable. I think there's obviously going to be a few guys snubbed any way you look at it. But number 5, I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs as well. Just coming off a really good season, I think he can really get things going. His ceiling's through the roof. Alabama guy, so we know obviously Nick Saban only breeds beasts. But yeah, I'll go Jacobs at 5. I'll go Jonathan Taylor at 4 as well. 2 years ago, he's the best running back in the league. He put up numbers that we really haven't seen much of ever. Obviously, he had a pretty bad injury last year, missed most of the season, but you can bounce right back to it. He's a beast as well. Number 3, I'm going to go Nick Chubb as well. Definitely, I think, in my opinion, a top 2 running back. But like you said, the committee over there, he definitely does carry a lot of the workload, and he still makes his mark on every single game. But you do take a little away from him because you got Kareem Hunt that he's splitting with. And then number 2, Derrick Henry, obvious reasons, most powerful back in the league. Get him going, and there's no stopping him whatsoever. And then Christian McCaffrey at number 1. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, like you said, Ace. He's just a better Eckler, and Eckler's sitting right outside my top 5, but he's definitely the best running back in the league.
Seems he's a dog. I mean, when he went to San Francisco, it's like everybody knew they were going to go far in the NFC, and they did.
Yeah, they killed in that trade.
You're just adding the best running back in the league to put to a top 3 team in the league.
It was nice to see him healthy for a full season too, though. When healthy, I feel like it's got to be him and Henry.
Let me run through my top 5 real quick. At 5, I actually have Dalvin Cook, just being the head of 2 big comebacks last season. One 64-yard catch and run, then a 81-yard run, touchdown against the Bills. Just solid player overall. Number 4, Derrick Henry. He's just my man in fantasy football. He just single-handedly wins and loses games for me, so it's easy and fun to watch him, and he's a good name that I somehow always end up picking up. Saquon Barkley, definitely some bias here, being a Penn State alum, but I feel like with his the beginning of his career, you didn't hear about him too much, but comeback player of the year last year, and I think he's just bound to keep going. His ceiling's pretty high. Number 2, Austin Eckler, in his 6th year, broke another franchise record, 107 receptions. No complaints on that route. And then, like all you guys, Christian McCaffrey, number 1, CMC. Can't go wrong.
I like your top 2 there. I mean, it's pretty edgy to go with Eckler at 2, but in today's NFL, it's so important the receiving back, how much they can be used, and he does that better than everyone not named Christian McCaffrey. But the thing is, he still totes the rock too, and he gets in the end zone. He's a goal line back. He's a little ball of hate.
I was gonna say those are like the fantasy football running back projections, just because Henry doesn't catch a ball. Like those top 3 guys all get catches and receptions, like you said, Ace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if I'm taking a running back, I'm probably still going to take Henry and Chubb over him and scheme them catches out of the backfield because they're good enough athletes. But Austin Eckler is a true receiver. Like, he can run routes for you. He can pick up first downs. You go to him in 3rd and short, you know?
I mean, yeah, I think I like that list. It was like Mackie said, people are going to get edged out. I had Eckler down all the way down at like 7 or 8 because I wanted to get Cook in there. There's so many guys, like Mackie said, 3 through 8 I think is pretty interchangeable. But yeah, that's.
You think Dalvin Cook will find success outside of Minnesota?
I don't know. If he goes anywhere in the AFC East, it's going to be interesting.
I'm excited to see this. You can find our lists online on our socials. I'm excited to see ours up there. Some good running back ratings, and I'm eager to hear what everybody else has to say.
Alrighty, good stuff. That's just going to about wrap up everything we have in the NFL. Got a little bit in the NBA, as there was over $1 billion in reported deals the first hour and 2 minutes of the NBA Free Agency, which opened up. Did it open up last week, like late last week? Or is it early this week?
Yeah, a little bit earlier than the NHL Free Agency.
I thought so. Okay, so we got a couple things to review there. The Golden State Warriors and 4-time champion Draymond Green came to an agreement. 4-year, $100 million contract. This deal keeps the big 3 together there, with their eyes set back on the NBA Finals.
Was he going anywhere else, though? I don't think so. I mean, he's the face of that team. Draymond Green, he's got the podcast. Golden State Warriors are going to keep making money for year in, year out off of his name. And I like what he brings to the court, especially with Steph Curry, the way he plays basketball. Who else is setting those picks for those 3-pointers other than Draymond Green?
It would have been so weird to see Draymond in any other uniform.
I was kind of like looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it would be so weird, but seeing him in a different uniform, I'd love to see how he plays with a different team. I mean, obviously he fits that Warrior system so well, and he knows it so well. So, I mean, yeah, I think everyone thought that he was going to come back, but it'd be cool to see him in a different uniform, running in a different offense.
You're not wrong, Mackie. I think it would be pretty cool to see his expertise used in a different way, especially if he was relied upon more on like a bad team. Maybe put up more shots and whatnot. Maybe he'd play better because we've seen that come out in him from time to time. But yeah, it was weird that all the media outlets were saying he's going to get moved too. I was like, no way. Draymond Green's leaving the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
Where was he going to go?
He's got to get paid
The
too.
Rockets are the Rockets they were talking about because they had all that cap space. They brought in Brooks and Van Vliet. A lot of people projected him going there as well. Maybe before all the Suns trades, they project him going there maybe to bring his toughness and winning ways. But I just couldn't see it. Like, you saw him in the match. He's like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. That's their boy. Like, he's not leaving.
He was chirping Clay.
Yeah, it's Draymond Green. One of the coolest people in the NBA, in my opinion. He got the bag, too.
I'm not a Warriors guy, so I'm not the biggest Draymond guy, but I respect him.
Yeah, you gotta hate him then if you don't like him, I'm guessing.
I don't really, like. I was never a Warriors guy.
Yeah, you're a
LeBron
guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, when he was fucking with LeBron, I definitely didn't like him those couple of years.
Yeah, I was.
Did you guys see the home run derby participants?
No, they just released him.
30 minutes.
They just made the
ago,
bracket.
I was gonna say I saw like a group of like the first like 4 of the 8 or whatever, and I'm like, how do they know 4 but not all 8? Like,
Yeah, right.
Who is
Want
it?
me to list them off real quick?
Yeah, read it real quick. I'm eager to hear that.
Alonzo, Arozarena, Mookie Betts, Adolis Garcia, Vlad Jr., Louis Robert, however he says it, Julio Rodriguez, and Adley Rushman.
Oof, those are some good names. Mookie Betts in it, such a dog. He's a great in front of the camera too, but it's gonna come down to like Fat Vlad and Alonzo.
I could see it be rigged for Adley.
You think? Julio Rodriguez at home is definitely gonna put on a show.
I feel like the home guy never does good.
Yeah, but I mean, when it's Julio Rodriguez, he might.
Yeah, the skinnier guys got to put in so much more effort in every hit too. So I think they get
Fat Vlad and Alonzo, dude.
Bro, all they got to do is make contact and it's going.
What a thing for Vlad to win after a bad first half campaign, but I'm excited for that. And when we get odds on that, we'll definitely post those online for you guys and let us know who we're taking because I'll be throwing on that.
Yeah, let's finish up this NBA stuff. We'll post all that stuff.
heck yeah. Next in the NBA, point guard Fred VanVleet has agreed to terms on a 3-year, $130 million contract to join the Houston Rockets. VanVleet's new deal is the largest contract in NBA history for an undrafted player. That's pretty dang interesting. Jeez.
The Rockets are just looking to spend money any way they can get it, and I like VanVleet, but this Rockets team is so young. I don't really know how well they're gonna do, and it's a tough Western Conference. I mean, I guess you could say it's top heavy, and then it kind of drops off. But I don't know. This Rockets team, I think, is still a couple years away, but that's a good deal for VanVleet. 3 years, $130 million, and if they're not that good after 3 years, he just moves on to another team. And I mean, it's the NBA. The odds he plays out that whole 3 years there is, in my opinion, not very good.
It's a good deal for VanVleet. It's not a good deal for the Rockets.
Yeah.
I just think he's good. He's got his ring and everything, but
I wanted him to go to the Lakers. I really wanted him to go to the Lakers, but they didn't have that kind of money.
I don't think he should be the main guy on any team. I don't think that's the type of player he is. And
No.
I mean, they have the young depth in Houston, so I guess it's not all on him. But giving this guy $130 million, what is it, $35 million a year?
Something like that.
Actually, no, it's definitely way more.
40. It's more than 40.
Yeah,
Like 42 and a half.
42 and a half. That's insane for Fred VanVleet, in my opinion.
I like this deal though. I mean, VanVleet's gonna put up buckets down there, and the Rockets had money to spend. They have great size in the other positions that they've been drafting year in and year out. They added some toughness in Dylan Brooks. I think this team's gonna be a lot better than people expect. I mean, they have so much talent from the draft the past few years, and VanVleet's a sniper. And when he's hot, he's good. He's got that ring to bring with him too. Definitely got that bag. That whoever his agent is, I saw he secured a bunch of bags for a few people over the weekend. He had the best day out of anybody, but
Rich Paul.
yeah, he had the best day I think out of all the agents in free agency. But I mean, obviously, I wouldn't give VanVleet that much, but when you have it, why not spend it? And he's going to be a good point guard for him.
I made a bet with my friend that they would finish under 500, and I think it's a pretty good bet on my part.
I think they'll be right around it all year, though. You'll be have to monitoring that one.
I said around 36, 37 wins they'll finish with.
Yeah,
I could see that.
47, 48 losses.
Yeah, I could see 40. I could see 40 wins.
That's cutting it close.
Yeah, that's max though. Max.
Alrighty, let's move into our last point here in the NBA. The Indiana Pacers and point guard Tyrese Halliburton have agreed to terms on a 5-year, $260 million maximum contract. Jeez. Pacers also signed forward Bruce Brown to a 2-year deal from the Denver Nuggets. This young Pacers team making moves. I think they're making some noise in the Eastern Conference in this upcoming season.
I think their ceiling is what the Cavs did this year.
I was just gonna say they're as far as the playoffs, they're not gonna make much noise. But I love Tyrese Halliburton. I love Benedict Mathurin. I really like this Pacers team. I think they have some good young pieces, but just like the NBA is so top heavy in the two conferences, you have like 3 or 4 dominant teams, and then it's such a cliff drop off to the 4 through 8 in in both sides of the bracket every year. But I think this Pacers team has the capability to make some noise next year. I think Halliburton could have a big year.
Halliburton's insane, though. He's got that bag deservedly. So I was surprised when he was dealt from Sacramento, but it worked out for them, I guess. But, he's a stud.
Sacramento fans were so pissed they traded him.
Well, you get Sabonis in, and I think your Sabonis is more valuable than Halliburton.
Halliburton's younger, though.
Imagine they still had Sabonis. I think the Pacers could crack that top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's no way you're getting Halliburton.
And if you are, you're not signing Halliburton at $260 million.
They just need to go get another piece for Halliburton.
But they're still a ways away out. I think the Hornets, the Hawks, and the Heat are all like Cavs better depth teams than them. I think this team, the Indiana Pacers, is better than the Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole duo in Washington. But other than that, I don't know if they're better than much else. I'll take Mackey's Knicks in 5 in a 7-game series.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but they're better than like Chicago, Detroit.
They'll be fighting for their lives to be in the play-in game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna sit. I think they're gonna sit at like an 8 or 9 seed.
Oh, I think they could be like 10 or 11.
No, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I'll take the young teams over them.
I
think they'll make the play-in.
They replace the Bulls.
I could definitely see them as an 11 seed, but I just think that they're going to be like sitting around 8 or 9, maybe 10.
Yeah.
11, you're out of the play-in.
I think they'll make the play-in.
A lot of crazy moves in the NBA, though, and I don't think it changes much of the forecast for next year, in my opinion.
Good stuff, boys. Yeah, a lot of moves coming in the NBA that we got to review, so look forward to that in the coming weeks for sure. I got a couple other points here before we get wrapped up. Team USA men's soccer moves along in the Gold Cup as they faced against Canada in the quarterfinals on Sunday. Always rooting for our U.S. boys there. U.S. Soccer, I think we've bet on them a couple times, once or twice, and I think they did us good once and screwed us once. But
the one thing I wanted to say about that, though, you guys see any of those highlights from those games? I know they're playing like lower countries. That guy, I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head. He had Ferraro, maybe. He had back-to-back hat tricks or something like that. He's putting up like numbers, like historic type numbers in his debuts with the team. But I remember I watched it last game. He had a hat trick in the first half, which was pretty crazy. So American soccer getting better.
I'm not the biggest soccer head. I'm not really the one with names for soccer.
I'm a big stats guy, though. When someone's putting up back-to-back hat tricks for my country, I'll pop in and see what that's all about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I think they should be able to take that home. Only competition really in that is Mexico. So we'll see how they pan out.
Alrighty, and the final point I want to go over. A great UFC card takes place this Saturday, July 8th, as we get to see 2 title fights. The card is headlined by one of the sport's best, is Alexander Volkanovski. Ace, you're sort of our UFC guy, I'd say. Huff, maybe you as well.
I just enjoy the UFC, so I think that's going to be a good fight. I think Whitaker's on the card as well. There's a few title fights, but I just wanted to get it in here because there's a good bunch of cards coming up this summer. I know further down the line we have O'Malley and Sterling and a lot of big fights coming up, so definitely keep the UFC on your radar. Might see that in our primetime post coming out tomorrow. But yeah, you get some good picks on those. We might have some people come and give us some picks for these upcoming matchups.
Yeah, I didn't look at this card yet, but yeah, definitely when you see that name on the main event, this could be one I'd be tuning into. But I think other than that, I think that's going to do it. So thanks for listening. See you next week. Like he said, MLB Home Run Derby on Monday, so stay tuned for all of our MLB plays this weekend. And obviously with the All Star game on Monday and Tuesday, going to stay tuned for that on Monday and Tuesday for those plays, whatever we're going with. Other than that, thanks for listening. Like I said, we'll see you next week.
Good stuff, boys. Lots to look forward to, like Huff said. I'm ready for yet another week of baseball before we have, we'll be going into 9 weeks for our first NFL Sunday. We're at 10 weeks right now, but looking forward to it. That's all I got.
Box.
Ace, Mackie, anything else, Dad?
Hit the box. We'll get you in the green.